Hey,
there.
sister.
How are you?
I'm good. How's your day going?
It's going.
It's
Same thing,
going.
different day.
You're
Yes,
a busy woman. I don't know how you manage everything, but you do it.
I try.
You
I
do.
do. I try. This is here. I should show you. This is Violet. Say hi,
Oh,
Violet.
hi, gorgeous. Hi, baby. Hi. Hey. Oh, she's so precious. I swear, from the minute she was born, she looked like a little angel. I
She's cute.
love all the pictures you sent me of her. I was like, oh my God, she's the most gorgeous baby ever. She's so perfect. God bless.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So how many kids do you have?
I have five.
How do you do it?
I, I go crazy. No, I mean, Violet obviously is my youngest, but my second youngest is 12. And then my oldest actually graduates on Saturday from high school. He's 18. So
That's incredible.
they're all over.
Wow. And you look amazing
Thank you.
with
You
all
know,
those
you know
kids.
my issues.
I mean, it's true. Ever since you and I started working together, which it's been so many years now. I'm
hmm
trying to remember. It's been at least
It'll be yeah, it'll be four this fall.
it'll be 4 years, man. And
hmm
you've always looked amazing, and you've
Thank
always been way too hard on yourself. It's so funny because I was looking back at your last competition stats to see where you were because
hmm
you told me that you weren't going to be, you were like, I'm not going to be ready for a show anytime soon. So I was like, I wonder where she was last time she competed.
Yeah.
She looked amazing on stage. So I looked you up and I saw you telling me that you're not going to be ready for stage 2 weeks out, a week out, 3 days out. I was like, no, you'll do great. You look amazing. But it's funny. I mean, we're all so hard on ourselves in this industry, especially. It's like, you always have greater and greater expectations every single time you want to hit the stage, and you're always trying on yourself. But I feel like with you, it's just so important to realize how amazing you are, especially since you have your hands so full and you honestly, I mean, you really do look incredible. So that's part of what I wanted to talk to you about. I was like, how does she do it? Like, I legitimately want to know how you make it happen. I really don't know. I have no idea with 5 kids, and you have your own business that you run.
Yeah.
So, and you do this. Like, it's a hardcore lifestyle that you're following, and you always look like you legitimately always look amazing.
You're sweet. Thank
It's
you.
the truth. I'm just saying. So why don't you tell first of all, tell me about your business. I want to know about your business first.
Well, let's see. My business right now, I have just, as of last Friday, accepted a new logo branding that I've been working with this company about. So they're finalizing all of that because I told you I wanted to move a little bit towards the boutique style.
Right, right.
Yeah. So, I mean, as you know, the industry is like huge everywhere, and there's a million personal trainers, and there's every fast gym that you can go to. And with my clients, I wanted to give them, I honestly, I don't want to say that I model myself, but I look up to you a tremendous amount and love that the personal touch that you give people and the constant feedback. And so I really wanted to model myself towards that with my people face to face. So that's why I'm trying to gear towards the boutique style. So doing a whole new branding, which is going to be a little bit softer, a little bit more relatable instead of my competition photos and all of that. Um, my husband, I think, is going to build me my own. Like, I have a studio here in our location, but I think he's going to build me a separate house, or a separate building outside of the house, which I will do all of my personal training at. And also, I think I told you, but I'm in my senior year for my bachelor's degree in social work.
Holy smokes, and she's in school. I mean, honestly. What the heck? Do you have more hours in a day than the rest of us, or
I
what?
do not. I prefer not to sleep, as you know.
Yes, I do know.
I appreciate it. I am passionate about it, and I like to show women who have had kids and feel like, oh, they can't find time for themselves, or they've lost themselves in their families, that it's, there is time. You have to prioritize a little bit, and you have to incorporate your kids. My kids pretty much go to everything that I do. They like to exercise. You know, they are incorporated themselves into the fitness world. You know, at their level, and they like it.
So tell me how you did that. I want to know because I have some clients who have, a couple of kids, and especially now that it's summer, when the kids are home from school, every day I get emails from my ladies who just say, "Hey, I didn't have a chance to work out because my kids are home, so I'm trying to entertain them. I just don't have the time," or "I didn't have the time to meal prep because my two or kids are home, and I'm just trying to keep them busy, and I have no time to eat my meals or whatever." How do you do
Right.
it?
So, at a very young age, I would say I really got into fitness after my 12, almost 13-year-old daughter was born. And the first thing that I did when I incorporated my kids was I found a track, and the track would be fenced in. So I would bring a bunch of toys, and I would put them in the middle of the track, and then I would go do my workout around the track. I knew they couldn't get out. I could see them at every place. They could see me at every, corner that I was at as far as the track, and they would play and I would work out. I got a double jogger stroller. I jogged with them. Violet even got a little set of baby weights, so when I go downstairs, she's shaking her rattle, with her weight. Like
I love that.
the metabolic training is, I personally feel that is super easy to do with your kids around, because kids don't like to jump around. So you're jumping around, they're jumping around next to you. You put a fun song on, you put a timer on, and you just, if I think if you make it a part of their daily life, like it is on your daily life, then it's not a big deal to fit it in.
Right. I agree with you. I mean, it makes perfect sense. And it, like you said, it's fun for them. It's just, they want to move around, they want to jump around. I always tell my girls actually too, you can do your cardio doesn't have to, I mean, you're a runner. So this
Yeah.
doesn't apply to you, but your cardio technically doesn't have to consist of running or being on a treadmill. You can just dance with your kids. Like just move, and as
Right.
long as you get your heart rate up, I'm happy and your kids are active with you. Like,
Right.
they'll be happy doing that. So, but that's a big part of it. And also, what do you do as far as meals? I mean, I imagine your kids like eat really healthy food. Is that true
You
or
know
what?
what? They do, but they also, I live through watching what they eat sometimes. I think that a lot of people try to make it way too complicated.
That's so true. So
Way too complicated.
I think a part of it is that a lot of people legitimately like to make recipes. They like to make a big thing out of their meals. And it's hard to do that when you have to eat frequently and you have to eat clean because now it's a real production. You can't
Right.
you can't physically make a big production out of three huge meals and then in addition to that have the snacks. So it's a lot. I mean, we're all so different. You can try, but I do have to say that for the most part, people who make complicated recipes or expect themselves to do that on a daily basis have a much more difficult time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think like I told her, I said, save those meals for occasions or going out to dinner.
Yeah.
I mean, it should be easy. The grill, I use a ton. I'll put a bunch of veggies in tin foil and throw them on the grill and pull them off.
It doesn't have to be boring. It doesn't have to be all the same thing over and over again, but just consistency with it is important. Maybe this is actually what I want to talk to you about because I know that over the past week you said you've been kind of struggling as far as sticking to everything or just feeling like you're not um what was the deal? You tell me.
I feel I feel at this point, and I don't understand why. So my working out, is to me it's fine because I need that. You know what I mean? I have to work out. It's just it's my release, it's my stress release. So that's not a big deal for me. The food piece, because you hit it on the head. I eat the same thing every single day.
Yes, we do.
So I have a really hard time when it's like, okay, you need to eat this instead or this instead. Like I don't know what it is. It's just
So what
it,
happens? Tell me what happens? What's the deal? Do you end up eating something you shouldn't as a result, or
see, but and I don't buy anything that I shouldn't eat. That's the thing. We've discussed that before. So like when I say that I haven't stick to my plan or whatever, I usually will sit here and have my yogurt and peanut butter. It kills me. Or I'll have, and I know this is awful, or I'll have an extra rice cake or two. And I think to me, I've ruined the whole day with the plan.
That's not awful.
But
It's so okay. Here's and this is what I discuss all the time with my and I bet you talk about this to your clients too. So this is gonna sound familiar. Ready? If you go off your plan slightly, it does not ruin your whole day. I know you know that.
I know that.
So now, especially something like two rice cakes. I mean, if you ate the whole pizza, I'd be like, just, it's fine. Whatever you want after that, you know. But if you just go off slightly, nothing has happened. I mean, you've gotten a few extra macros. Nothing's really changed for the day, especially knowing that your food that you cheat with is clean. So it's like nothing, legitimately
Right.
nothing at all has happened. It's the truth. So if you internalize that, understand it, and don't let that little deviation ruin the rest of your day, then you'll never have gone off tracks. Do you see what I'm saying? Because you've
Yeah.
actually not done anything wrong. It's like that thought that you've done something wrong is what lets you or gets you off your track to begin with.
Right. Or I'll do a whole day really great, and then at night, every single night, you would laugh. Me and my husband are like 9-year-old people. So every single night, we make dinner, we clean up, get the baby ready, and then I make dessert, which is the yogurt, peanut butter, and protein.
Right.
Every night, he eats it too. He's
Oh,
addicted too.
really? Nice.
Oh yeah, he's eaten it for like 2 years. So
Oh my God.
so he eats it, and what happens is I make it, and I purposely make his larger because I'll eat out of it.
Oh,
And they're
gee.
like, "Oh, forget it. Now I've eaten more than I needed to because I'll make mine, I'll make his, and I make his bigger, and then he'll yell at me that it's so big. So then I'll eat some of it, and then I'm like, okay, tomorrow I'm not going to do that, and I do it almost every night. Almost every night I go to bed going, okay, tomorrow don't do that.
But you see, here's the thing though. You still look amazing and you're still doing fine. So you've not done anything horrible. So don't be so hard on yourself. I feel like I mean from the start that if somebody asked me, okay, what's Jen's biggest issue? Like if you could change one thing about the way she, does any part of the entire thing to make her more successful or to just get her to, actually reach her goals in a more efficient pace at a more efficient pace or whatever. I would say she just shouldn't be as hard on herself. She's way too hard on herself. Just it's like out of control. I mean, you email me your updates where you look incredible and you are shredded and you're like, I'm not making progress. I'm not looking good. I'm not looking,
I
I should be or whatever it is. You're just so hard on yourself, and I feel like sometimes that kind of mindset is what derails us because it's difficult to stay
yeah,
motivated consistently when you feel like what you're doing is not working as it should.
right,
Do you know what I mean?
right.
But for
Mm-hmm.
you, it is. Like your body's responsive. You just had a baby. I mean, you just had a baby. Look at you, you know?
She's almost a year.
Oh, please. First of all, you looked amazing when she was a few months old.
Thank
So
you.
it's the truth. So I feel like if you just started giving yourself a little bit more credit and understood just how amazing you are, that would go a very long way because you would realize that everything you're doing is actually working the way that it should, and it would motivate you to keep it up. As opposed to it's like, well, I've stuck to everything perfectly for the past 5 days, and I still, whatever you say about yourself, where you have these negative thoughts. So why should I even bother? Let me just have an extra rice cakes because it doesn't matter. Or you just have a
Right,
negative, just when you're in a negative mood, you're much less likely to actually do everything that you should the way that you should do it.
right, right.
So
No,
it kind of just manifests itself in bad ways when there's no reason for that to happen because you are incredible. It's like just go, yeah, I'm amazing because of the truth. I kick ass. Yes, I
yeah.
do. So no, actually, because this reminded me, I wanted to talk to you about that too. You had a baby a year ago.
Hmm.
Did you stay active through your pregnancy? Because as soon as you pretty much when you updated me, the first set of pictures you sent me was how long after you gave birth to Violet.
Oh gosh, probably less than a month.
And
Yeah, I stayed active my entire. I ran the day that I went into labor. I stayed active the entire pregnancy, every single day. I didn't stay up with my lifting to the same plan that I was, but I was still running every day, and I think I actually logged it on my website or my Instagram, but I think I worked out 6 days after she was born. Was when I started working
wow,
out again.
Well, see, for you, that's okay because you're so active and you've just been active. You've been active
Right.
going into it, so you'd been active, through your pregnancy. And so what were your issues afterwards? Did you have any specific problems after
Um, well, my issues I had were I have that separation in my abdomen, which I'm
the diet?
still working on. Yeah, still working on that. I lost a lot of muscle tone and a lot of strength, but no, I mean, I fell back into it. The one thing that I have to say that really benefited me from being pregnant is I am so much faster running because I ran with her being pregnant. So I like
That's some hardcore training.
yeah, I
Your
like
body's like, whoa, this is easy. I'm weightless.
it's crazy. I dropped 22 pounds and then I run so much better. I did my first race. When was it? I think what is this? June, May 7th. I think was my first race, and I came in first.
Wow.
So
Go, go.
it was yeah. I'm definitely way faster. So that's a positive. As far as strength, I am finding it a little bit harder this time to get the look of the muscle that I want. Like it's taking longer. I don't know why. I don't know if that's just me in my head or.
I feel like you've lost a little bit of your muscle. So
Mhm.
now, looking at your weight and your stats, you still have a couple of pounds of muscle to gain to get to that point where you were when you competed last, muscle
Yeah,
wise. But you still have a lot of definition on you now. I mean, you're very lean. Um, Look at your shoulders now. I mean, you look at
it's
flex for me. Let me see your arm.
well, my bicep arm, my
Yes,
bicep. Oh,
yes.
I
Let me
mean, I have
look
it.
at
I mean,
that. You're shredded.
the top part of my body is. The bottom part has not come
The
back so much.
bottom part, it still has a little bit of water on you. So that's the thing too. I feel like lately you've been holding a little bit more water where it's been fluctuating more than usual. And that could be, I don't know what it is. It could be hormones, it could just be stress, it could be the fact that you don't sleep as much as you should, which
Yeah, and I don't drink as much as I should. I really go up and down with it. I don't know what it is. Ever since I've had her, I've like boycotted water.
mm-mm. We don't want that. So that could be, I mean, see, you're not getting enough sleep and you're not drinking enough. Those
Yeah,
two things will always make you retain water.
yeah,
So have the time when you, in fact, your last update, I think, I was like, the weight doesn't make sense because one, you look leaner, and two, I think your measurements were different or something.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, so looking at your update, I was like, man, she's got it. She has to be holding water because that's the only explanation for what we're seeing. So that's a big part of it, and I think that's part of the reason. Obviously, when the water's on you, it obscures your muscle too. So that's part of the reason you may feel like you don't have as much on you.
Right.
Just keep in mind that what you need to be there in order to compete this summer is there. So I don't want you to think that you can't compete because nearly every update you go, I'm not going to be ready for a show. And I'm so used to hearing that from you. I'm like, let me guess, she thinks she's not going to be ready for a show. But but just know that I will tell you if I don't think you'll be ready. You can absolutely compete this summer, and then if you want to do it again in the fall, you can. I mean, I think you should have those dates in mind, just because it's. I know you enjoy it. You enjoy the process, and it would be cool to
Yeah.
see you drop the water for stage because it'll prove to you that you look amazing and it's all there as it should be.
Right.
So you're good to go with
Okay.
that. And the other thing that I also want to talk about, um, you're a runner and you compete, so you can do both at the same time. A lot of people don't think you can, but I mean, you race and you compete on stage.
Right.
So how do you, as a trainer, what do you think of that? I mean, how do you think that affects you being able to do both?
Um. Well, I will have to say that when I do compete, I definitely do not run as many races, only because I know that you are potentially running off your muscle or leaning out in a way that you shouldn't. Do I run as much as I would like to? No.
Well, knowing you, it would be like hours a day. So that's
No.
not saying much.
But I find a balance. I find a balance with it. It is always my cardio is really always running, unless I have an injury or there's something going on. It's running, and I do that for a lot of reasons. I know I explained to you before that I feel that I almost obsess over getting my run in, but to me that's my mental release. That's my stress release. That's my zen.
Hmm.
So it's more that than it is I have to run because I have to burn the calories. It's not that for me. It's my husband can tell if I haven't run for 2 days. He's like, "Oh my gosh, go out and run." because it just evens me. The endorphin high of it just evens me. I love running just as much, if not more, than competing.
That's amazing. I love that. And I love that you can do both, you know. I mean, it's so important to have something in your life that actually releases your stress that you enjoy. But how
Hmm.
amazing is it that like you can use that as your cardio? Because most people can't stand cardio. So now you have cardio
Yeah,
that you actually enjoy. That's amazing, you know.
yeah,
But how do you incorporate running training into your routine as far as cardio is concerned? Can you train for, say, some sort of a marathon or a race while getting your cardio in? Is that something you would do?
yeah. You absolutely can. I think that the reason I can do it is because I have such a strong base. I think if someone was just coming in and competing and then they wanted to race and do that all at the same time, I'm not sure that that would work depending on the distance that they wanted to run. So, like for my cardio, one day I'll do like hill climbing on the treadmill. So I'll just change the elevation, or I'll do a fast run outside, or I'll do, a tempo run. I play with it. It really depends on how I feel. I'm pretty just as I am eating. I do my running the same. I go out and I pretty much do it as hard as I can, and then I come home. But I've been running for, gosh, 11 years now. And before I started competing, I was a marathon runner. So I've had
Nice.
such a huge base that, it's, it doesn't affect me too much. Like 2 weeks ago, I went and I paced one of my clients for a half marathon.
That's amazing.
I didn't train for it. I didn't need to, you know what I mean? It's a base that I have. It's just something. And for me, running, as it's as much of a high for me, it's a mental piece. I know that I love that there's a starting point and an ending point, that it's a goal that I can accomplish pretty much every day. So
No, I
it
get,
always leaves me feeling, good. Like I did one from A to B. I accomplished my goal. I'm done. And it gives me that.
yeah, that's amazing. I mean, it's so important to have that. Like I said, for some people it's yoga, for some people it's stretching, some people
Hmm.
meditate, for you it's running, and it's great that you can combine everything that's important to you all in one and get everything done. So I love that.
I love it.
Just stop being so hard on yourself, honestly, Jen. I know you at this point very well.
I know you do.
I
I
know
know.
what's going on in that head. And I feel like if you're just not so hard on yourself and if you give yourself the credit that you deserve, that would go a very long way in helping you stay focused and keep that discipline there, you know, because it's there already. I know it is. Look at you. Like
Yeah.
you can't do everything that you're doing unless you're extremely disciplined. I mean, that applies to everything from you're like Wonder Woman. You are Wonder Woman. You've got this enormous, gorgeous family, and you take care of everybody and everything. You know, and you're in school, and you run this business, and it's growing. So you're working on that, and you run, and then you compete, and you look amazing doing all of these things.
Thank you.
Acknowledge it and seriously internalize it because that'll help you realize that you're doing everything right. And when you do that, it'll motivate you to continue on.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it just makes sense. It's not fair to be so hard on yourself. Is there anything else we wanted to chat about? I don't remember. Any
Uh,
questions you had?
Um, no, I don't think so. I mean, you're amazing to work with. Obviously, I wouldn't have stayed with so long. And it's funny. My husband's like, one thing. What's one thing that has to stay in our budget? And I'm like, Alessia.
Oh, I love you too. No, and I really appreciate that. I sincerely love what I do, and I think my clients realize that and they feel it. You know, when you really care about the people you work with, like I said, it shows. So
Yeah, yeah,
it's not, it takes no effort as long as you truly enjoy what you do and you care about. And it's funny because most of my clients have been with me forever, and it feels
yeah.
like I have these friends who just email me every day, and it's great. Like I love hearing.
Definitely,
Awesome.
definitely.
All right, so
Well,
email me your update tomorrow. We'll decide for on the July show or not. And either way, we can aim for the fall show because then, you'll make improvements or whatever. See what the deal is.
yeah.
But you can compete in July. I'm just telling you that now.
Okay.
So we'll talk about it more tomorrow. Send me your update.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
Such a pleasure.
All right. Have a great day. And it was so
You
great
too.
chatting with you.
You too.
Take care. We'll
Bye.
chat tomorrow. Bye,
Okay.
Jen.
Bye.
Bye.